Well, what is up, guys? It's Flash back with some more charts and another video. It's Thursday, July 3rd, about 1:34 p.m. Eastern. Markets closed today at 1 p.m. Eastern, so this is technically an after hours video. But want to give you guys my thoughts heading into the long weekend with July 4th weekend and then what we're going to expect for next week, too. I'm probably not going to be able to get a public video out next week. I'm going to be on vacation, but I will be able to do my daily videos every morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. So if you guys want to join the membership below the video on YouTube, feel free to do so, and you can expect daily updates. So I feel like the stars are aligning kind of in terms of Bitcoin's breakout here on the daily time frame. Where MSTR, we're right at the precipice of another breakout in my opinion. And this is kind of the perfect storm in terms of if Bitcoin breaks out, technically it already did break out and it continues running over the long weekend, and we wake up Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and Bitcoin's at 115k, 120k, 125k even, I think is within my expectations. We're going to see MSTR like gap up significantly. And I got some charts back here to show you. So let's just dive in. This is Bitcoin on the daily time frame. We're above the 30-day moving average. We're breaking out of this pattern within the 30-day moving average. So this blue line indicator is the distance percentage from the 30-day moving average. And the reason I use this is because it can help detect consolidations and energy buildups and momentum that you may or may not necessarily see in the chart itself. So I consider this kind of like my energy buildup or energy breakdown indicator, right? So we can draw breakout lines, breakdown lines, and get a sense of where price is likely headed. So we're breaking out here. We have a little dotted line consolidation that we're breaking out, and we want to break out of this orange line. I am expecting it to pretty violently, right? So I compare this to where we were mid-April, right? We broke out of this big pattern here within the moving average. You can also kind of see it on price, but this kind of gave you an early indicator that, hey, we are above the moving average, we're consolidating above it, and we should expect positive price action. So that's what we're doing now. We're above the moving average, we're consolidating, and we're breaking out of this consolidation period within the moving average itself, if that makes sense. So we zoom out here, we got the rainbow wave, the power law indicator. You guys know this well if you've been following me. If you're new, I'm trying to chart the course here for Bitcoin and Bitcoin related assets. So on the daily membership, I'm not only looking at MSTR, but we're looking at other tickers too, and we're looking at their momentum and finding good buy and sell places, right? So within the price. So here's Bitcoin on the rainbow wave. If we look at the regular scale, like we're expecting this bubble phase upwards to 200k, 300k perhaps, right? But then I am expecting it to return to the power law, right, over time. So in 2027, especially, that's where I'm really going to be looking to accumulate more Bitcoin for that next leg higher. A couple different looks at the power law, the rainbow wave indicator. If you just search Bitcoin rainbow wave, you'll find it. It's by Leo Mathart. It's a beautiful piece of art and indicator on TradingView. And then here I like to overlay the M2 money supply push forward by 84 days. I'm looking for the highest 30, 60, 90 day correlation. And right now that's 63.4%, and that's reflected in the 84-day offset. I also like to overlay gold. I push gold forward by 97 days because that has, again, the highest 30, 60, 90 average of 54.9%. And when you look at the two together, I'm trying to match this angle of ascent, right? This is going to kind of vary over time. It's not going to be perfect, but it can give us a general sense of where Bitcoin is headed. So when you combine this breakout on the daily time frame and you look at where M2 and gold have run previously, I am expecting this is a sense of liquidity, right? Bitcoin is going to suck up this liquidity. It's going to follow M2 and gold, in my opinion, right? And so here is what I'm calling the command center, right? So we have our indicator here for Bitcoin distance percentage from the 30-day moving average. We're looking at a breakout here. We have Bitcoin's current rate of change on the daily time frame. And then I've added the rate of change of M2 and the rate of change of gold, again, pushed forward by 84 days and 97 days respectively. And so, the rate of change has remained positive for M2, right? So I do think Bitcoin's generally going to follow that orange line up here, and then we're even getting another breakout here later this summer. And so gold as well. It's kind of faltered a little bit. Gold rate of change dipped a little bit. So we got to kind of play that by ear. Are we going to get a dip in Bitcoin's price action? Are we going to follow gold? Or are we going to follow M2? Right now, my bias is towards M2. So we're getting a breakout and I think we're going to get a continued leg higher. If we look at Bitcoin measured in gold, this to me says, hey, we haven't even gotten started yet. The party has not even started yet. So I think Bitcoin's going to make a pretty good run against gold in the coming weeks, months, and quarters. And then Bitcoin measured in silver, again, we continue to have these rounded consolidations, cups and handles, whatever you want to call them. And I am expecting this cup to continue to play out. So I do think Bitcoin is going to continue to outperform silver, but both are very volatile. And now we have Bitcoin measured in crude oil futures. So Bitcoin measured in oil. This is just my point of saying Bitcoin is the superior asset. It's 100% finite, right? So it's going to outperform, I think, these commodities as well over time. Okay, so let's transfer over to MSTR. So this is where I'm thinking we're right at the precipice, right? We're right in the point of this triangle, right? We have our descending resistance line and we have some supporting lines right below us and we're squeezing right there. I thought we were kind of breaking out today. Looks like it may be when Bitcoin really decides to continue higher. If we pull up the distance percentage from the 30-day moving average, again, we're right on the precipice of this momentum energy breakout, right? There's probably a couple different ways you could draw this line, but I think this is a pretty good on the daily. If we get above this, I think that's clear skies. Here's another look for MSTR. Again, this is the parabola look. So I think, again, we're squeezing right into this little corner here, and I think that energy being released to the upside is going to propel us to upwards of that $1,000 plus, right? And that goes hand in hand with MicroStrategist's ballistic acceleration model, where he maps the price of Bitcoin and the price of MSTR, and this is what the data is telling us, right? So here is kind of, if you followed JV_finance on X, his name is Julius. He came up with the idea of let's put standard deviation bands around the M2. And so right now, if we take that into consideration, we're at the lower standard deviation band and we could be expecting some very, very sharp, steep, vertical price action pretty soon, similar to what we got in October, November of 2024 with MSTR. So again, the charts are kind of lining up, guys. And so here's MSTR measured in gold. Again, similar look and feel. A breakout is right upon us. MSTR measured in silver, a little bit more room to the upside before we can call it a breakout, in my opinion. And then MSTR measured in crude oil futures, this is more of a flat horizontal breakout line because oil has been kind of strong recently too. So, and then lastly, MSTR measured in the NASDAQ. So this is, again, we're breaking out. This is an energy momentum breakout. I am expecting MSTR to outperform the NASDAQ 100 for the next few weeks or months. Last but not least, you guys know I love my MSTR measured in Bitcoin chart. This is something I posted on X, but this just looks like to me a Wyckoff accumulation with a classic spring here back in July of 2022. And so, you know, time will tell if we're going to break out and continue running or if we're going to break down. My bias is we're going to break out. And so when we zoom into that upper right-hand corner of that chart, we kind of have this mini bowl, this mini accumulation. We're hanging on for dear life below these orange bands, these orange trend lines. But when we look at the momentum, again, we're getting a breakout here in energy. Energy wants to release to the upside. So I do think MSTR is going to continue outperforming Bitcoin for the short term, the foreseeable future. And we'll continue to look at this on a daily basis with the membership to determine when we should consider maybe rotating or what have you. But end of the day, guys, this is a big picture idea. You know, we can look at the daily price action, but in my opinion, like we really want to be, if we want to stack some serious sats, you know, we want to be smart with this and we don't want to overtrade, in my opinion. So we want to maybe take some off the table in the bubble phases, buy back in the accumulation phases. You know, that's not financial advice. This is more not financial advice. But if I want to seriously stack some sats, I'm not 100% sure that the bubble phases are going to continue to occur. But at the end of the day, this core bold green trend line is the power law, the power trend. And so I do think Bitcoin is going to continue to grow like a city grows or like a religion grows or like various things found in nature grow in a power trend, in a power law. It's based on physics. It's based on math. And so that's going to be my strategy, is really doubling down on this indicator and just following it day for day, week for week, quarter by quarter. I'll continue to give you guys my 2 cents as this plays out. But I hope you all have a great July 4th weekend. Happy birthday, America. and I'll see you guys next week or the week after.